Hello. Are we live? I think we are. I think we're very much indeed alive at 4:30 in the afternoon for England. For Eastern time, it's about 11:30 for you guys. And 8:30 on the Western side. Anywhere in the middle, 9:30, 10:30, whichever who you are. Hello. Can you hear me? If you guys can hear me, that would be super awesome. Hello, everybody. So, today, I took it in me, just had a bit of a self-reflection. So a lot's happened today. Not on my end, I wouldn't say. I mean, a lot's happened in my life in general, but a lot of people in life are doing such amazing things at the moment, and it makes me proud. It makes me proud, even with the people who are going through their trials and tribulations. This is kind of why I made the stream today, because I noticed throughout all the success that people are going through, there's also, you know, a fair few people going through their own struggles as well. And I wanted to take a bit of time to reflect on how I've been feeling in this life, how I've been sort of going off the rail, so to speak. But I also wanted to take a bit of appreciation for those who don't know, Ultima Custom Night, you know, probably all of you know at this point, is a game that was considered to be impossible in a lot of many ways. And yeah, it would have been. But I'm sort of noticing that there's so many people out there right now who are making the best of what they can at the moment. And by God, there's people who've beaten it. And it's, you know, it's just something to take into reflection of the many times that we've been given the impossible, but the possible has been made. It's kind of a running little metaphor for me. I don't know how anybody else will take it, but it really does show the power of the people. When you can make something possible of your very own. And I want to give appreciation to those people who have gone through their trials and tribulations, all of the horrible stuff that's been going through this life for them, all the grief they've been given. They've done it. They beat it for their own best. And that just speaks volumes. It really rubs off on you. I said this on Twitter, but I wanted to elaborate. Just that feeling of success. That feeling that going through what seems to be the most impossible, making it possible, it kind of speaks volumes on how we as people should be treating life. Because at the end of the day, with that game, it was never a competition. It was never something where people were racing against each other. And it feels as though that's what a lot of people got the impression over. This was never a competition. This was an endurance battle. Something for your own gain. And believe it or not, the community may have helped out a bit more than you think. Especially with those who had no idea they were even helping out in the first place. Just notice people making strategies. People cracking down and making some cool ass shit for people so that they can beat it. And without that, there wouldn't be really a leg to stand on when we try and defend a community. But I had a bit of reflection. As we wade through all the negative people who probably don't have the comprehension to understand human emotion or human obstacles, people who don't have to go through that each and every day, to go past it and ignore it and just completely pass through to the other side speaks volumes. Because we as content creators, we don't play just for those people. We play for people who respect us. We play for ourselves ultimately, and we play because we choose to. We choose the challenge. There's a lot of things that have run through my mind recently, and a lot of it comes down to besting what you could already do. Because without besting ourselves, we can't evolve. We need to sometimes go through our trials and tribulations to get to where we are today. So I just want you to picture in your mind right now, while all seems lost right now, it is never unfixable. It's gonna get better each and every day you go through this. I just wanted to use this as just a way to say thank you. You know, for all the things that I've ever gone through, for all the things that all my friends have ever gone through. And the fact that there's still an audience here that exists today, I couldn't be more thankful in my life. I've been self-deprecating. I've been tormenting myself on the daily, just for the mundane things that I would do. It's kind of obvious I make songs. It's obvious that I do Let's Plays. It's obvious that I'm streaming right now, but even throughout all of this, I always hate what I do. I have done for a while. But maybe it wasn't that I hated what I was doing. I hated what I was going through. I was going through a lot. And I still am today, still going through several things. And just seeing today, unlike most days, where even the truest people are out there for you, they don't always get to communicate. But the fact that they do, nobody's alone in this world. And that's what I want to give to you guys. Nobody is ever alone. I want you guys to feel as welcome here as you humanly can. I also want to take a quick reflection on those that may have been a part of my life and may not anymore. It's nothing personal. There's a lot of trial and tribulation. Again, that is a big phrase. And while we can't always connect, while we can't always be as bright and prosperous as we can be for those around us, that doesn't reflect on you as a bad person in the slightest. We're all human at making mistakes. We're all human at going through our own little problems. But I'm not one to judge. I'm not one to just blindly set off on society without a life lesson. We all have to go through it. So anybody who's ever been a part of your life who's not anymore, I just want you to sit back and just think they're not bad people. They're probably people who are going through some harsh stuff. It's the chemical balance of life. We sometimes have to understand that while we might not conform to somebody else's ideals, we might not be able to conform to how they feel and how they understand life the way you do, doesn't make them bad. In fact, it makes them human. I wish everybody along the journey who can persevere and persist through this and not hold a begrudgment at the end of it, that takes true strength. And honestly, I feel grateful that I could even meet some of these people. The negative people, aka, like your quotation here. Because they're not. They're just people who happen to not work. I don't hold grudges, and I hope the best for them in life. I hope that they get to find their calling, because no matter how vicious you may be to somebody else, they truly may well know of a life lesson of their own. They may persevere in another medium, and they may become what you wanted them in the first place, but you could never offer. That doesn't make it bad, just makes it a learning lesson in life. That's why I don't hold grudges. It's why even during times of when human nature considers the negatives in people, you know, there's a lot of negatives that we have to give, because that's human nature, which personally I find a bit disgusting. Focusing our lives on just negative people and just the negative things is natural. But as long as we know it's natural, and we also know what is and should be natural, mind you, are looking at the positives that come out of it. Because if I had to look back at every time I've streamed, or every time I've made a video or a video or anything like that, I always self-deprecate during the moment. But I have friends who will constantly be there to tell me of the positive things, remind me of what did come out of it. That like to dislike ratio was bigger on the likes. The uproar of support that people give throughout every place we go is phenomenal. We don't get that often. Not at all. Because we're the content creator who knows our little nitpicks. We're the ones who pay attention to the negative space. So I also wanted to remind you all that while you may self-deprecate it right now, just remember there's people here on this vast resource of the internet that are out for your best interest. And if you haven't found them yet, you will soon. Nobody deserves to be alone. Whether you're good or bad, bad people will be with the bad or good in their right to make them good. Or even the good might lead into a bad place, turn bad. But that's just part of maturity. That's just part of growth, evolution, finding our place in life. And as long as we do find that place in life and try and best ourselves, try and be the best we can be, always put a smile on, yeah, you'll go far. You will go very, very far in this life if all you do is make mistakes and learn from them. Because believe it or not, even people like myself, even people among my friends, they make mistakes every day. We all do. Even if it's as simple as waking up and just not making our bed. I hardly make my bed. In fact, I even put my freaking Keurig coffee machine up in my bedroom because I'm too lazy to do it when I go downstairs and I need my morning coffee. That's called making a mistake, because honestly I shouldn't have it in my room, but there's a silver lining in it. It's convenience for me. It works for my life. Not everybody will have a coffee machine in their bedroom. They'll have it in their kitchen or in their office, whichever one. Go, cool, that'd be cool. Having a coffee machine, having it in my office would be pretty sweet, but that's different. It's different right now. There's a lot of people who, at least in my life, have set their sights on independence. It feels alone a lot of the time. I feel very much alone when I have got nobody around me. This big house is like 5 bedrooms, and reverb is it's a messy one when you're a sound technician. Not that great. But yeah, we it's tough. But there's always somebody on the end of the line to be able to help you. Always. And if you're not going to find it anywhere else, I want you to find it here. We've got Discord servers, fan servers, and the Diamond Alliance. We have many places where people can go and have fun. I just want to give, speaking of Lou, just want to say congratulations to Darko, my boy Lewis, for doing something that was impossible to a lot of people, but made possible just with perseverance and persistence, just getting through all those god-awful tribulations in life. You've got a backing, man. You've got such a beautiful backing, regardless of the negatives. And you've got such great friends by your side. I'm proud of you, man. You did something amazing. And we all love you for it. It's at this point I have to sort of preface that the game was never a competition. It was the endurance. It was the journey. I have to say this as a very cliche, don't get me wrong, but it's just the journey. Everybody was out there to enjoy it. I kind of found it a bit horrible how people were treating the idea that, oh, this YouTuber's better than the other based on skill set? Based on skill set of a something that was supposed to be impossible. I just wanted to put a healthy reminder out there that all of you who are trying with Ultimate Custom Night, I mean, I can't fucking do it. I get anxiety like no tomorrow with that game, but I give a lot of kudos and support to those who genuinely need it, who genuinely deserve it. So, massive props to every single one of you. By the way, Lou, I've got a little game idea in mind. I will talk to you about it later. Just seeing if you're there. But yeah, I also want to preface just the idea of feeling alone. That was what I was talking about as well. Just this general idea that no matter how lonely we actually are, because let's face it, a lot of us have friends on the internet, a lot of us have that healthy conversation on the other end of the line. It doesn't change. It's not the same as IRL loneliness. I am lonely in real life. I don't have many people come over to my house. Yes! Resorts World sounds amazing, man. And we've got Alton Towers in October. So, Scarefest. And Insomnia. Insomnia is going to be great too. But that's another thing that I also got taught. There's a very, very helpful thing that I got told. Is while we might not think of some great stuff right now, think of all the things you can look forward to. That's what's going to help me say that idea of loneliness. While it may seem like the lowest of low right now, just think of all the things you're going to look forward to. And if there isn't any, make some. Make challenges for yourself. Every day, it's always trying to put your life on something that you love. You sometimes got to stand up for it. And for me, I got a lot to be excited for. That's what makes me feel less lonely in this world. Not that, and also company can't help but see that I'm alone, so they sometimes come around to my house. But yeah, think of all the great things that will come out of the future. Just that persistence of positivity. For me personally, I get to go see my daughter in 2 weeks in Yorkshire. She came down last weekend. That was amazing. And I'm having company over at the very end. I've got company coming over tonight. I've got Ben and Stacy. Dex is coming over to work on music with me. I want to work. I want to work with people who also need that breakaway, who also just need time away. I've missed that so much. I've missed just playing with my friends, playing games, having fun. And for the past few months, I've been such a curse. I've been feeling so shit. And it's because I have a lot of self-deprecation. And it's because I've been going through a lot. But we all go through it every day. We all go through problems. And that idea that really tells us we're not alone. Again, it's not the same as IRL, but it's something to help you reassure that you're not inhuman. You are you. And that's the best you that you can be, then so be it. There's people out there who'll love you for it. That's what I wanted to give. Just this idea that while we may feel alone every now and then, it's not gonna change, that something will happen real soon. I hope you all feel at least some sort of uplift from this. I hope you all take some words, even if you can't feel it right now. Even if you can't possibly comprehend the happy side of life right now. Take it from a person who hasn't been able to see the happy side of life for several months. Nearly a year. I've been going through a lot. And I apologize profusely for allowing myself to become addicted to social media, become addicted to screaming my problems out. I needed to vent to the right people, and I did. And while they weren't able to properly say much, they did the world. And even just a sentiment like that changes things for me so much. It's so hard to comprehend, but when somebody says something to me that could be uplifting, in the moment, in the heat of the moment, I question. I have questions. I get very confused. This life isn't easy for me. I do have a lot of questions, but even if they can't resolve themselves straight away, they do in the interim, because just hearing positive words like that always helps. Just maybe I don't show it as much, but it really does. I mean, yeah, I'm curious. I'm very curious. Because I that's one thing that I guess I've been making it. I have these insecurities in life, and I have contradiction. There's always a contradiction in life, but if we fester and become addicted to the contradiction, we make it a failure. We make it impossible by allowing ourselves to think of the impossible. But it's just that idea that you get given an impossible and you conquer it. You give all of your might to every single fucking day and you push and persist. You have no idea how that rubs off on people. Such a great feeling. Knowing that you can make the impossible possible. Belief will make you succeed. As cheesy as that fucking statement is. But you really do have to believe. It's not cliche. And for those who see it as cliche are once again setting themselves an obstacle to not allow that. It's a placebo. There's a reason why we say it. It's a placebo to help everybody else get through. For those of you who don't know what a placebo is, it's the idea of believing in something and it will work. It's kind of like if you're about to sneeze and you scratch your nose or you tap it a few times, you stop sneezing. If you put that mentality in your mind, if you're told about it, you can actually make it work. That's what placebo is. And we supply placebos to people in life because they need it. It's not false pretense. It's genuine. We sometimes have to take the power to believe in it. If we don't believe in it, then it's going to be harder for us. Now, granted, there are some special eggs that don't believe in it and then get it. Which, you know, you have to be pretty godlike to get to that point. But, doesn't make us any better or worse. We all go through our trials and tribulations in our own time. We all go through our impossibles to possibles in our very own time. Doesn't matter who gets there first. Doesn't matter who gets there last. It matters about the journey. It matters about how much fun you had doing it. How much you can, at the very end, say, holy fuck, I did it. Alright, Chloe, yeah, go get some fresh air. I hope anything I've said has been of some sort of positive, because this isn't just meant for everybody. This is also, well, it is meant for everybody. It's meant for people like you, Chloe. It's meant for people like you, Lewis. It's meant for people like you, Sophie. It's meant for people like the friends who are going to come around. It's meant for all of you who are watching today. You're unbelievable. It takes a real power to be together. Everybody goes through a part of problematic stress. We can't ignore that it exists. But why fester? Why fester? That's what's going to make us depressed. Is the idea of defeating. The idea of defeat before it even started. And that's what I wanted to stress to you guys. And I also just like, again, for those who are self-deprecating, take it from a guy who has been doing music for 10 years, still self-deprecates. I still never feel like my mixes match up. Like, I listen on Spotify. Yes, I listen to my own stuff. It helps because it helps me realize that where I'm changing and where I'm not. How I'm evolving, how I'm not. what can I do about it? It helps that reflection. But sometimes I'll put it on shuffle. I'll have my own song, a very recent one, and then it will cut to a professionally done studio song. And it's a fact. It's not as good in terms of EQ. And it always makes me feel sad. But I got a comment today from, I mean, you all know him. I made Instruments of Cyanide, a Chapter 3 song. And it was one that it wasn't forced. Really wasn't forced. I did this on my own accord. Didn't fall into peer pressure. I don't listen to dickheads. But I made it for myself. I loved it. At the very end of the day, I loved the idea, but when I got it out there, it didn't feel like it was doing as well as I thought it would. And also the EQ side of things, it didn't feel as powerful as I intentionally thought it was. But I got a comment from the Meatly, the creator of Bendy, who, well, it just sort of made me realize that I'm not that shit. And I know, yeah, it could have come from anybody, and it came from the Meatly, sure, but that's a person who puts his hard work and creativity in there. He's not just the creator of Bendy. This isn't why I take this. He's a friend, like all my other friends. In times where I feel like I can't cope, my friends are always there. Lewis, you've been there for me. I wanted to be there for you too. Same with all of my friends like Ryan, Raz, even Baz. Dex, you know, he's been through his problems recently, pummeling his ass at making a new game, and I want to help him as much as I can. All my moderators out there, all my artist friends who are trying their best to best their art, I want to be there for them. I want to help reassure. And while my words don't always feel like they match up, they definitely have big intent. I want all of my friends who are currently battling strengths of their own to feel welcome in my life too. You're all beautiful in your own right. Sometimes we don't realize it, and sometimes we don't tell it enough. But we do feel shit sometimes. We're allowed to. But it's that smile that can change so much. That's what I wanted to give. Even if it might be one of the ugliest smiles you ever met, it's still a smile. And at the end of the day, you are your own person. You create what you want to create. And if it's a mistake, you'll know it. You'll know how people react to it. The cunningness after that is learning how to get past it, how to best what you did before, making it better in the eyes of the people. It is ultimately yours, but if you know what you did, and many people are against it, and it's globally known, I wouldn't consider that a failure ever. And I said this about 2 years ago during a Christmas vlog. You never truly fail, you just get stronger every single time. And what I mean by that is just, it's hard to explain. Maybe it's because I'm reminiscing myself, but when you get grit to a failure, did you learn something? If you learned something from it, nah, you didn't fail. Even the recognition of I failed implies that you know, implies that you recognized, and recognizes that while you may not say it, you want to improve. That's not failure. That's being human. And you just get stronger from it every single time. And that's exactly what I go through. I always think I'm a failure. But I have plenty of people to remind me that, no, it's not failure. No matter how many times they hear it, they're always ready to say, no, you're not a failure. You just grow stronger. You just learned something. And that's it. You guys are gonna get that. There's no failure, just experience. That's it. You just get stronger all the time. And I just want people to understand that. Because I know I get a lot of self-deprecative people in my server. And, stop. Self-deprecation is no joke. And if it is a joke, it's a shit one. Nobody laughs at self-deprecation. Nobody laughs. I hate my life. Why? Why would you hate your life? When you've got so much to learn. When you got so much to do. Push it. Push it to the fucking limit. You'll get there. Never self-deprecate. Plus, it's unoriginal. Everybody does it nowadays. We did it before it was cool. And even then, we don't sit our asses down for it. Yeah, CG5's on his Mormon mission. That's another thing. A lot of things coming out. A lot of in real life situations that I've been through and a lot of my friends have been through that I would also like to elaborate on. It takes real courage to be able to stray away from what you would normally do. Take Charlie. He was a musician on YouTube, making his way like everybody else. Instead of persisting, I mean, he had backups, but instead of persisting with YouTube, he did something that he really, really wanted to do. He went out for a Mormon mission. Because he's a Mormon. He went out and persisted in something that he wanted to do in the world of the Lord. Now, I don't believe in the Lord. I believe in myself and my friends. Now, that's the whole idea here, is that you're allowed to believe in whatever you want to believe. Can't be chastised for that. And I certainly won't chastise Charlie for his decision. Because, by God, he's doing something that he loves and that he believes in. Can't say that about a lot of people. And I keep reading emails, and I wish I could respond to them. My outbox is being a bit fiddly. I tried. Made a whole entire essay, but didn't go through. But that's just it. A lot of people get discouraged about doing something out of their norm. It's okay. I did something very out of the norm with Bendy. And look at us now. I did something very out of the norm when I made my original songs as opposed to games. Look at where we are now. I started exploring conventions that, while unorthodox, it set me at home. Not often. I would mostly be out at a hotel in America. Look at where we are now. Even through mistakes, we learn our positives. Take example. Push through. Do something. And just cheer all the best people on. Because at the end of the day, nobody deserves to be given more praise than another. No matter what the situation is. The one praise that I would love to give is that they are true examples of showing that people are capable of completing the complete impossible and make it possible. And that's what I want to give to all of you. Just that sense of hope. You all have it in you to do it. You just have to work really hard. You have to suck at first. I sucked at first. Don't take that out of context. But we all do. We all hurt. We all come back to shit, you know? At the very beginning, we're always learning new things. When I started streaming for the first time, I sucked. I was so invested in the game and I was so cringy. Well, cringy. Cringy implies that you had shivers down your spine. When I look back at my videos, I legit do. It's not just a saying of cringe, it genuinely was. See, that's another thing. A lot of people use the term cringe or cancer as things to define something, but no, that's also it's also an experience that you'll find is going to detriment you in the long run. Is that word cancer is, I don't know why people use that, because cancer implies that it's dying. But no, it's not. Like, the very thing that you talk about being cancer is just giving it more fuel to be alive because you're talking about it. It's still relevant. To somebody, it is relevant. That can't be cancer. Now, people often mistake the word cancer for two different meanings. One, the actual illness, and two, just a derogatory term to describe something that's dying. But cancer itself cannot be determined, especially with video games. A video game itself cannot be. A community of people that thrive against awful things can be toxic. It can be bad behavior, just general bad behavior, but it's never cancer. Nothing is ever cancer in the gaming community. Nothing is ever, yeah, that's it. Yeah, nothing is ever cancer. We all have a different belief. We all have a general belief on what works and what doesn't in life. You feel free to disagree with me all you want, but you're just proving my point. You're proving my entire point that people are allowed to think what they want. Just don't be afraid for backlash. Don't try. How do I put it? Don't expect no backlash, you know? There's going to be some kind of divide in that opinion. No, I don't have cancer. Somebody got genuinely concerned in the chat then if I did. No, I'm fine, surprisingly. I'm good. People are gonna disagree, and that's totally fine. Because it just shows that they have initiative of their very own. To hate somebody for their belief is a completely different story. You can disagree with somebody. Don't hate them for it. For the love of God, don't hate somebody for it, because they have just as much a right to have an opinion as you do. Don't feel jaded by that. People take life in many different ways, and I just don't like the idea of people going out and hating people because they have the right to believe in what they want to. That's why I don't hold grudges. I may have a debate, but it's always comedic. In some way or another, it's always something that, yeah. So there's a comment here that says, people use autism as an absolute insult. My sister has autism and people make her feel miserable for being herself. She actually can't accept herself for that. Fair enough, I understand that. Somebody who suffers from, well, suffers is a term where you can't live with it and you're just going crazy with it, but I have, so to speak, Asperger's, which is a form of autism. It's a very low level of autism. Oh, Jesus, I'm getting messages. I have autism. In some way, I have Asperger's. But I guess it's learning how to laugh at it, in a way. Because I can laugh at people calling me that. I may have my own problems with it, but if I can't laugh at it, then I couldn't be proud of who I was, you know? I guess it's just that idea of being able to laugh at what we are as well. Call that self-deprecative, but no. Being able to laugh with people, there's a hard execution to it. You have to laugh with it. So for somebody who loves to use autism as a really derogatory term to belittle somebody is disgusting. But I guess you can turn them around by also laughing with it. It's a whole idea of who you're surrounded with. That's why I know there's some negative people in society where it's not entirely on them, it's about their surroundings. So I can't blame that ultimate person. I can't blame anybody. They have influence in their life, and that's where it's going to take them. But that's that chemical balance where you're not going to work with everybody. There's going to be people out there who are probably going to dismiss you from life. But you'll hopefully find somewhere else with that new idea, that new life lesson that you got taught. That's why I encourage anybody, like if I ever get into a debate with somebody and they feel like, oh, I want to leave the DAGames like channel, do it. If it's the one thing that I could do is get you to leave for you to go to somebody else's channel and give them more respect than you would have ever done with me, at least I've done something. I've done something still, and it doesn't matter. We all gotta learn that, No, I'm not quitting. Why would I quit in a positive vibe stream? No, this is uplifting. But hey, I know a lot of people are coming out and saying that they have Asperger's, or autism, or ADHD, or anxiety, or bipolar, or depression, handicapped. But notice how we're all is equal online. Look at this. You're just proving my point so much. You're all coming through that comment section and you said you had a hard time opening up. Look at you guys. You're on the internet. Look at all of you. Now what I want you to take from this is that you're not alone. You should never feel ashamed of who you are. You're learning just like everybody else, and some have a more difficult time than others. Can't judge them for that either. They got their life, and they're going to persist and proceed, how they so wish. They're going to be surrounded by people who make them feel worth. I'd like to think that here, we can make that happen. It's not just a pretty fucking face. It's not just fun and games and music. Deep down, it's something else that people don't look at. It's very hard to see in the midst of fog and gray. If you live on the black and white side of life like I do, it makes it so much easier, but it's a whole gray area. It really is. But look at that. Through the fog, I can still hear your voices. Don't need fog to prove anything. People who are currently working at the moment, who they put all their entire effort into something and it just feels like nothing comes of it. A way that I used to enjoy work is poking fun at it sometimes. In my own time, or amongst people who are also working with me. Not all the time, but I would sometimes listen to music. I would sometimes, on my breaks, I would talk to the people who I love. Maybe not ultimately hating my job, because it's the very thing that gave me money. It's the thing that made what I absolutely love enjoyable, because I missed it a lot. So I pull through my hard times at work and I come back home, and that thing I really wanted to do, it makes me enjoy it so much more. It's that idea that jobs aren't that bad if they're making you go out of your way to do something in real life and make you really miss what you love. It's there for a reason. It's to do that. So I hear a lot of people working. I used to work at McDonald's, for Christ's sake. That was crazy. Now, I wouldn't call, I'm just noticing somebody say, my dad says people that make suicide are stupid. As harsh as it is to say, suicide is the easy way out. It's not stupid. It's the easy way out for a lot of people. But in order to get to suicide, it's not something that you just think about. You don't plan this stuff. By planning it, human nature encompasses that we are aware that we're going to actually damage ourselves. And when you're aware of that humanely, you don't want to do it. You can't just plan suicide. Suicide is when you're completely out of your subconscious, when you have no idea that you're about to do it. And some people need serious help with that motif. So it's not as if suicide's a bad thing. It means their life has gotten to such a horrible part of their life that they can't do it and they just need help. That's why you can't always truly be alone. Gotta sometimes, if you feel nearly at that case, just take any opportunity you can to be with your family. Just take any opportunity you can to be around your friends. So at the end of the day, just have to sometimes be around people. Suicide is not something that can be taken so nonchalantly. It's a very serious issue. But it's a very simple solution. Be around people before that happens. Doesn't matter if they're strangers. Does not matter at all. Go to little meetings. Go to after-school clubs. Go to anywhere. Go to your principal. Go to your parents. If you're an adult, go to your coworkers. Go to your friends. Go to my server, for Christ's sake, has a whole dome of troubles where if you ever feel like you're about to get there, just put in there the dome of troubles. That is essentially it. Yes. Okay, so I'm reading a story saying, I have planned a month ago to commit suicide by slitting my throat, but my mother found out and took my razor away. She took me to my therapist right away, and now I totally regret my thoughts of it. That's learning. It's not failure, it's learning. And that's good. It's good that you went through a trial and tribulation to understand it. It's harsh. It's tough. Sometimes we want to think that we don't go through that to get to the end, but we sometimes have to. So, if you ever feel alone, stop. Because you're not. You're not alone. So many people around. I'm around. Even if I'm not there, even if this may be a derogatory way of saying it to the masses, I want you to take it individually, because that's something that matters most. If you can take this message, if you can just push with it, you'll go places. I needed to make this stream because just doing it in a video, well, you'd have edits after edits because of silences after silences that I am subconsciously not really good with. Plus, there was a lot of subject matter I wanted to cover that couldn't just cut it for one video. I had to do a stream to be by your side, guys, because that's another point. Being by your side during this is sometimes the best. If I just make a pre-prep video, it's not really being by your side. Live is the best way to do it. For me, anyway. How do I keep my happy mood up at work if life sucks balls? Any good advice? I don't know. Work is hard. I think the understanding of work being hard helps us miss the things that we love the most. Just go with it. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, friend. You gotta sometimes realize that work is money. And when you get money, you get to be able to do the things on your time off that you can do. It's awesome. Or if you hate your job, you want to find another one, find another job, but don't quit the one that you currently have. Because you never know, you might not be able to find a job afterwards. You always gotta have that contingency in life. So if I was gonna say you wanted to find a job that you love, do it while, search for something whilst you're in your job at the moment. Don't just quit. Don't just, you have to sometimes build contingency over it. Now, some people, I've noticed, they picture depression in their own unique way. But I do have to say that it's not always depression. Sometimes it's temporal sadness, especially with kids in school. It's not essentially depression, it is temporal sadness. Something we have to be diagnosed with first. We have to go to the doctors. We have to be given the pills. We have to go to our therapists to really claim that we have depression. We can't just call it depression if we can't clarify it officially. Because it's a lie. It's a lie until proven guilty. So if you ever feel like you do, go to a doctor, go to your GP, go to anybody, even your family. Just say, oh, I get bullied at school a lot. They'll probably just tell you it's sadness. Because it's what it is. It's not depression, it's just sadness. But once it starts coming out of your joke, once it starts coming out as a joke, there's always a... What was I saying? It was about... Yeah, it's about the idea of joking about it on the fly isn't really gonna tell you that you have it. You sometimes gotta go to a doctor for that. So if you ever do feel like it, go to a doctor. Or a family friend, or whatever. Get diagnosed. You never know you have it until you actually get it clarified. That's why I don't like it when people say they have depression, when they actually don't. They're not diagnosed with it. They haven't got pills. They haven't got therapy. They haven't got the thing that kind of defines it. If they are so adamant that they have it, prove it. Go to a doctor's. People with depression don't just fester and do a deal without it. You have to go and prove it. Sadness can be for 7 years. Sadness can just be about circumstance. We could just self-deprecate a lot. But if you really do feel, after 7 years, that you may have it, go to a doctor's. Just generally go to a doctor's. Get that form sorted out. Mark, I'm not quitting DAGames. I never said, well, I may have said a while back that I might have. But I'm not. I can't bring myself to do it. If this is any testament to tell you that, like, you plan this stuff, but you know it's against your human nature, you can't do it. People make jokes about cancer, bullying, depression. They should know it isn't funny. Okay, here's the thing. No, they should joke about it. They should. They shouldn't feel inclined to always offend the masses, because that's not what a joke is aimed to do. It's not supposed to offend people. It's supposed to be a joke. At the end of the day, people joke about this stuff because maybe they do have that. Some people in their lives who have that. And if they can laugh with each other, then that's awesome. People can joke about what they want, but they have to be prepared for the backlash. That's why with jokes you have to form contingency. There's a fine art to joking. Just saying something is cancer is not a joke. It's just cancer. But there's a fine derogatory and clever motif for where it exists, and the timing as well. You can make it into a joke, and people can laugh with it, you know? If you can't laugh at yourself, then what else can you laugh at? If you can't smile for yourself, who are you gonna smile for? If you can't be positive yourself, who can you be positive for? Who else can rub that off? Who else can feel positive if you're not? Now, the idea of an absolutely fucking horrible joke is, ha ha ha, cancer, kill me. That's a fucking awful joke. It's not even funny. That's an awful joke. Like, but the way that you can form jokes around it is different. There's a different way of doing it. Anyway, folks, fellow friends here in the YouTube chat, you've made it abundantly clear that you all have problems, okay? Now, don't just use this as a masses to constantly spread that you have it, okay? I'm not an all-time savior. I'm not a miracle worker. I'm not a god in this right. Nobody is. The awareness that you are going through all this stuff, the fact that you're aware of it, and the fact that you can even go to your strengths to say publicly online what you go through is, what's admirable. If you can learn from this, though, get all the help you can. And if that comes from your favorite content creators, if that comes from playing a specific game, if that comes from being around your friends or being around your family, if that takes changing your diet, that takes changing your exercise routine, your night routine, your sleep routine. Adapt, evolve, find the comfort zone for you. At the end of the day, as long as it conforms to life and all its masses, and you're not cheating life, you know, you're not killing yourself or killing others, as long as you're not cheating death and all that shit, you should be fine. And if at a point you feel like you're about to, seek help. There's people out there who will do that. And that's why I wanted to make Heart of an Artist. That was my story. Everything that I'd gone through for the past 2 years was a whole reflection of my life. But it resonates. Made it vague enough to not describe it about me. Music has a good art to it. And if I was able to spread those masses out to everybody, glad they could resonate. And that's why I made the album. Anyway, I feel enlightened. I feel spiritual today. On a day where I probably shouldn't have made content because I was honestly trying to recover from a break, but I think I just needed to hear and see the right things in words. And I have. Play what you want to play. That'll truly define things. Cutie Pizza Game says the games are not cancer, the fandom is the cancer. Nope, nothing's cancer. You are wrong. It is not, nothing is cancer. I don't like that term. But each to their own. You do you. So, there's another thing I wanted to stress is talking about new and upcoming things. Yes, I am making a Chapter 4 song. Not because people requested me to. I finally found a good vibe. And I was so scared of doing it because of Chapter 3. Instruments of Cyanide was a song that I made that separated what the original songs did. You know, electro swing. Chapter 3 didn't deserve electro swing. It got darker. And I took a real plunge into making a dark symphonic metal or symphonic rock, however you want to put it. I don't think it's completely metal. But yeah, just I got really scared of it. At the end of the day, I did it. And it got such a great reception. And I did it for me. I didn't give a shit if it conformed. I thought it worked. And there we go. And that's what made me excited to do the Chapter 4 one, because it's darker. More aggressive. Very painful. It's about Bertram. So it's going to be a very, very painful experience. But that's the whole idea of doing things outside your comfort zone to the masses, is that you do what you want to do. Views are views. Promotion is promotion. Money is money. As long as you don't detract away from it. As long as you don't detract from your passion. Shouldn't be a problem. At the end of the day, I'm just gonna do me. As for games, I could have easily played a shit ton of FNAF fan games. I could have easily done like Ultimate Custom Night. That's not me though. Everybody else can play it, and they do it because it's fun. And that's awesome. I'm so glad that they got that. For me, I found my fun playing Dude Stop, and Detroit Become Human, and Crash the Insane Trilogy, Quiplash, Use Your Words, and more recently I'm doing a Let's Play of Harry Pooper. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the GameCube, for Christ's sake. Games that you would never thought especially with the indie market that I've produced, you'd never think I'd go to these things, but they're part of my childhood. I like it. So yeah, I'm doing more Detroit Become Human. I'm doing Uno. I'm doing Crash. And Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the GameCube. Little Harry Pooper going to hog him. That is essentially how, yeah. Maybe Mario Sunshine. I'll probably do that as a stream though. But yeah, imagine that. a YouTuber or content creator, so to speak, that usually would supply to the masses, but in their finest hour, they play something that matters to them. And look at how different that is. Playing something that nobody else is playing. Harry Potter of all things. Even with the songs that I'm currently working on, there's stuff that I'm working on that I'm sure people have requested, but it's not what they're gonna get. Baldi's Basics, for instance, is a game that just should have really died out quite a while ago. But it's an alright game. It's there, it exists. It's a fun thing when you get to play it, and kudos to the developer. You got 1 million downloads. That's amazing. But for me, I'm making a parody song, so something that isn't actually a proper song. It's not going to be Roblox's shit level. It's going to be. It sounds like a song it would be, but it's a parody song. Trying this new thing out where I rip the shit out of games in some way. In fact, I wanted to show you something. I'll change the scene ever so slightly. Take off video capture. I need this. Oh, Jesus. I have old assets on here that I'm sort of working on still. Let me just go to display capture. So yeah, I'm currently making something. It's a Baldi's Basics song. I'm not gonna play it, but there's subtle references that I wanted to shove in. Something, so yeah. If you've ever heard of a piano roll, that's what a piano roll looks like. It's a number of keys that make out a pattern. I managed to do something with a particular pattern. Can you read that? Can you read what it says? I was very proud of that. And then I basically did that, but there's another thing that I made. Another pattern. Never ask me for anything ever again. This is my Baldi's Basics song. Subtle references. It's a parody song. It's one of those kind of things. I mean...
Oh, hi, our friend is here, ready to spread the wrath with cheer. Welcome to my schoolhouse, motherfucking schoolhouse.
And that was indeed a thing. But yeah. Something that... It's a parody, basically. It's not an official. It'll probably go out on Spotify and iTunes and stuff, but it's a parody nonetheless. And I thought it'd be funny putting those piano rolls in this never ask me for anything ever again, and fuck you. I might put cunt in the next piano roll, but we'll see about that. It's a very controversial word. But yeah, I just wanted to show you what I'm doing. These things that people don't normally ask for, but they get. That's what I've always lived for on the internet, is doing things that people never thought they would want in their life. But when they get it, they couldn't live without it. I live for those. Anyway. Feels as though a lot of you have got positive vibes. I think a lot of you are doing well. I can't do more comics, I'm afraid. Not until I get a full-fledged professional studio. I can't just give comics the old justice it had. It just wouldn't live up to today. It needs to be better than that, and I don't have the resources. The moment I do have those resources, you can bet your ass it'll come back, but not right now. I want to hug you too. Well, you're coming around at the beginning of August, so yay. But yeah, I wanted to give you all the positive vibes you ever needed in the world. I'm so glad you could feel that way in some shape or form. Now, before I leave, I want to call out the people who've done super chats, and because I wanted to really come across to you guys a lot more positive than I recently did, and I needed to spend time and attention on my words. But I noticed a lot of you super chatted. So Logan Brooks with the $10 saying, I love your music, man. Build Our Machine is my favorite. I believe in you for custom night. I don't believe in me on that one. Honestly, I'm I'm just going to do it in my spare time. Maybe I'll come back to it. Who knows? Chloe, AV Gamer, with the £4.99 saying, hey, I needed positivity. Give me 20 boxes, plucks. Maybe later. Ramtin DH with a Canadian $2. Do you have fan service too? Closest you'll probably see me is either the second Uno Let's Play or Getting Over It, where I'm half naked in a box. You decide. £10 from Derek Crimson saying, despite all that has happened, your personal philosophy on life is one to live by. Haven't been a fan for long, but I'm really proud of you and all the fans. Long live the Diamond Armada. Thank you very much, dude. That really means a lot to hear. And we're going to keep persisting. Don't worry. Squishy King with a $1.99 saying, just a little something for you, bud. Appreciate it, man. I didn't need that, but you did, and I appreciate it. Lulu Gray sings, saying, you're one of the strongest people I've ever, with $9.99, says, you're one of the strongest people I've ever met, Will. We love you so much, and I'm so glad you're getting better. You give me joy every day, and I couldn't be more grateful. Stay positive, mate. Mate. Thank you very much. I'm going to get better. I don't look crazy right now, but I'm just trying to be spiritual. Can't be spiritual during a crazy time. Well, I can do. Nicholas Wright with the $10, saying only a matter of time until you're strong enough to succeed. Only a matter of time. And as long as there's time to give, that's all I'll play for. Bren Gaming with the $1, saying, oh, nothing, but still, thank you. K-Dog with the $4.99 saying, hey, Will, thank you for being such an inspiration to others, including myself. I'm glad to see you sharing your positivity with others. It's one thing I want to rub off that anybody else has been able to do is rub off the positive. As long as I can do that, then you guys have got it. Mustard F Square with the 200 rubies, saying the only thing that is real is you at this fucking moment. This moment sucks. Try your best to fix it. Being miserable takes away from your life. Find help if you need it, even if it's hard. Words to live by, and I have attested to them throughout this entire stream. I appreciate that, dude, just for having that backing on there. Undead with the $1.99 say, hi, Will. Hello. Caitlin Z catting around. Caitlin's catting around, I think. We have $1.99 saying we all love you, Will. Appreciate that. And I love you too. Alex Gamboa with the $5 saying you're a good person, Will, and you deserve good things. Do whatever you want. We'll all support you 100%. Right back at you. Seriously, right back at you. Outraged Power Gamer with the $20. Wow, dude. That's... You didn't have to do that. But you've been an avid supporter for a long period of time, so I really do appreciate it, man. Much love, much love. Xavier with the $5 saying happy for the positive vibes you're sending, and also I know you might hate me for asking this, but is Colossal Carnage still a thing? I don't hate you for asking that. It's a song that I wanted to make. Maybe in the future I'll work on it. We'll see. The Militia Gamer with the $5 saying I love this idea of this stream. Keep up the good work. Positive vibes all around, and maybe I'll start doing more of these. Positive things. Aina Ikuni with the $20. This is a secret. Don't tell. Oh, okay. I won't tell anybody. Okay. It's already told. Thank you for that. Xavier Quintero with the $2 saying, huzzah for positive vibes. You go. You go with those positive vibes. You're positive dudes. The lot of you are super positive, and I'm So damn appreciative of all of you. Alright. So in this case, I actually have to get going. Because I'm going to use the positives that I've given to you guys to make my own shit. I'm going to do all that cool stuff. And it's really taught me a lot. Is this life. Don't take it for granted. If at first you don't succeed, try again. You never truly fail. You always get stronger every single time. Always remember. Sorry if this is a bit too revealing for you. But this is something very close to me. Okay. The eye of the beholder will always see a different shade of green in this field of gold. The eye of the beholder. While you may think something looks shit in your own perspective, don't take that as gospel. Because people are going to see it very, very differently. With that being in mind, I do have to get going now. I'm going to work on Hairy Pooper. My Hairy Pooper let's play. Because it'll be fun. Seriously, guys, thank you so much for coming along. Hopefully, those positive vibes work for you. And, hope it works for me, too. We're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. We're gonna push through, and it's gonna be so damn awesome. Just keep that smile going. You deserve it. But when you make mistakes, feel. Feel those mistakes. Feel it. It's okay to. As long as you know how to do it, and the support that you can get during the end of it, you'll work wonders. Anyway, gonna get going. I'm Will of DAGames. Thanks for sticking by for these positive vibes. You're truly worth the world to me. We'll see you all very soon. Peace out! Bye, guys. You lovable, lovable people. Some of you horrible. But you're learning. So I can't hold grudges. Peace out, everybody. Bye.